It isn't unusual for divorces in Hollywood to get a lot of media attention, but there was one divorce in particular that broke the internet. When Gwyneth Paltrow announced her divorce from Chris Martin on her blog Goop, it literally crashed with all the responses. And for good reason. The couple was together for 11 years, and that's a long relationship while dealing with the stresses of Hollywood. The weirdest part about this couple's divorce came after they split, though. Paltrow even said her ex-husband is like her brother now.
We like to do things to reinforce that we're a family for the children and for each other, and he's like my brother. I'm very close to him.
The couple's meeting was full of rumors before they had even met. That's right, they hadn't even met yet, and the public was obsessed with the idea of them together. Paltrow said, "It's funny because people had started writing that we were going out, and we had never even met." How bizarre is that? Well, apparently not that bizarre. Allegedly, Gwyneth was supposed to be a guest at one of his concerts, but when she didn't show up, Chris said, "Oh, this is for my girlfriend, Gwyneth Paltrow." It doesn't take much for rumors to spiral from there, right? When the couple did finally meet, it was in 2002 at one of Chris's Coldplay concerts. It came at a very challenging time for Gwyneth because just 3 weeks earlier, she had lost her father, and she was still dealing with the aftermath of his death. The pair started dating almost immediately after they met, and as part of the actress's healing, Chris had written 2 songs for and about her.
2 lines of that song which she very kindly gave me the idea for. It was actually about her dad. We were talking about her dad who passed away, and that's how that came out.
Fix You and Swallow are 2 things that have the ability to break your heart, and you wrote them for her to get through the pain of her father's death. But what is a Hollywood love story without a shotgun wedding? Just a year after they met, the couple secretly eloped and got married in California. It was so secretive, in fact, that not even Paltrow's mom was at the ceremony. They got married, of course, because they were madly in love, but also because 2 days before the wedding, they had announced they were expecting a baby. The pair were really good at moving fast, because a couple of months after their wedding, they gave birth to their daughter, Apple. Like every Hollywood couple, they went for an unusual name for their child, and even Oprah Winfrey was confused by the choice. She asked Gwyneth why that name, and Paltrow said it was because the name was sweet, clean, and perfect. I'm sure that's what we all think when we look at an apple. 2 years later, the couple welcomed their son, Moses, and he was named after a song Chris wrote for Gwyneth before their wedding. The couple always kept their marriage and kids extremely private, so private that they never even walked down the red carpet together. But in 2009, rumors began to spiral that the couple had split because they hadn't been seen together for a while. The actress spoke about how a lack of publicity didn't equate to them having marital problems, and even said, "It doesn't behoove us to be a public couple. He certainly doesn't want to be that. We've never ever walked down a red carpet together. We never will. If people think that means we're not together, then so be it. We can understand that." But a year later, it seems that those rumors may have gotten Paltrow thinking about her marriage.
It was a very intense time for our family, and emotions were very high and deep and all over the place, so I just tried to keep to myself.
In 2010, 4 years before they announced their divorce, she spoke about her realization that her marriage was over. The couple went on a trip for her 38th birthday to a storybook cottage, and she knew despite the long walks, longer lie-ins, big glasses of Barolo and the hands held, her marriage was over. She even said, "What I do remember is that it felt almost involuntary, like the ring of a bell that is sounded and cannot be undone. I was successful at turning the volume down in that knowledge. It would be years until we said the words aloud. But that weekend, a dam had cracked just enough to hear, and it grew louder until it was all I could hear." In 2014, she announced that she and Chris were splitting on her blog, Goop. It was a separation that broke the internet and had millions of fans mourning the loss of an iconic Hollywood couple. In her blog post, she had used a term their couple's therapist had used, which was conscious uncoupling.
We just wanted to minimize the pain for the kids, and they just want to see their parents around a dinner table, basically, you know, so we try to keep that.
This term had a lot of people raising eyebrows and wondering what it meant. It seemed like a way to dim down a tragic breaking up of a family, but Gwyneth cleared this up for everyone. It's a term that describes the ability to look within oneself and realize problems within a relationship that are caused by yourself and need healing. She was vocal about her divorce and the term conscious uncoupling and said, "Frankly, the term sounded a bit full of itself, painfully progressive and hard to swallow. It's very different for every couple, but for me it meant, more than anything, being accountable for my own part in the dissolution of the relationship." She was intrigued by the sentiment of the phrase because it meant that her family would stay together even if she and Chris weren't together as a couple.
Where you are, but still being friends to that extent, that's a lovely thing.
Yeah, I'm very, very grateful, you know, and we have these two incredible children, and yeah, it's been a strange and amazing path, but I'm so grateful to be right here, right now.
She also noted how the couple had always kept their relationship private and hoped they could do the same through their divorce. They wanted it private so they could heal, their kids could heal, and they could co-parent positively. Her conscious uncoupling term also meant they could have a positive divorce. She wanted to stay in love with the parts of Chris that she was always in love with. She didn't want toxicity and hate to be the central part of their divorce, so she reminded herself of everything that she loved about her ex-husband, because for a long time she did love him, right? She thinks people lose the nuance of life by either making it all good or all bad. Why not lean into the unfamiliarity and balance it all out? She said, "Family structure can be reinvented, and divorce doesn't have to be devastating. It doesn't have to be the end of your relationship with somebody. I think Chris and I were meant to be together and have our kids, but our relationship is much better like this, friends and co-parents and family." In 2015, they filed for divorce, and by 2016 it was finalized. But according to court documents, they had been separated since early 2013. The ink wasn't even dry in their divorce papers before Gwyneth moved on. In fact, they didn't even have divorce papers yet. In 2014, she met Brad Falchuk on the set of Glee, and by 2017, the couple were engaged, and a year later they were married.
You know, every relationship and everything is you make it have an intention, then you put work into something. So, you know, I think we're just love our kids and love our families and want what's best for them, and so what's best for them is everybody getting along.
The actress seems to be more than content and happy with her new husband, and not only that, but Chris loves her new beau. Chris started dating Dakota Johnson in 2017, and they still live together in a house they bought. Chris, Gwyneth, Brad, and Dakota all vacation together. Gwyneth even invited Chris and Dakota on her honeymoon with Brad.
My new husband and his children, my ex-husband, our best family friends. It was a very modern honeymoon.
We're all for a healthy breakup and blended family, but that may be a little too healthy. Still, their amicable divorce may be the blueprint for many on how to keep a strong friendship with your ex-spouse even after the romance fizzles out. Paltrow even pushed Martin to reconcile with Dakota after they had briefly split, because as an insider said, Gwyneth is happy if Chris is happy. She only wants the best for him. The pair also take co-parenting extremely seriously, and they've managed to keep their family together even though they are apart. They see and talk to each other every single day as friends and co-parents because they believe they need to keep their commitment to each other in order to put their children first. It's because of that sentiment that their children didn't struggle through the negatives a divorce usually brings to the table. Instead, they saw that their parents still loved each other, but more as friends than as a couple. Gwyneth even has said that the relationship she and Chris have is more like a relationship with a brother. Could that be pushing it? We aren't sure how many people have kids with their brother, Gwyneth. She even added, "Chris is like my brother. You know, he's my family. I love him." She added that she remains grateful for the relationship they shared because it gave them their 2 children. Although she said she never wanted to be divorced from the father of her children, it worked out well. They both learned a lot more about themselves through the process. She was even grateful for learning how to be accountable for her side of things that led to the divorce because it led to her current husband, Brad. Although Gwyneth's brand Goop doesn't give her the best public status, we can say that as an ex-wife and mother, she seems to be very insightful. It truly does seem that Chris Martin and Gwyneth Paltrow have made their relationship after their divorce better than their marriage. Between maintaining a friendship, co-parenting, and being friends with one another's new love interests, could they have cracked the code to a happy divorce? And is that code called conscious uncoupling?